So you want to take better travel pictures? Some people say you need to live in a place for years before you can really understand and capture the essence of it. But after 12 years of living overseas and traveling around, I want to share with you some uncommon tips, not technical in nature, about how you can improve your travel photos in just a few days of being in a new country. So one of the best things you can do before you even pack your bags and leave town is really research the place you're going to. Now, this doesn't mean like the typical research you do when you're traveling. It's not about booking the accommodation or making sure you have flights. The idea is to research in a way that you know exactly where you want to go and what you want to take pictures of. See what other photographers have shot there. This research could also include looking up different festivals or events or holidays that are happening at that time. You can even go and open up Google Earth. You can go all the way down to the street level and look at what time of day roughly that was captured or where the sun seems to be. It also can give you a good idea of which buildings might be standing in the way that would block the sun at certain times of the day and keep you from being able to get that shot that you really want to do. The more time I've taken to research and to implement some of this before I go on a trip has made the trip overall much smoother. Now that you've done all your research, the next on the list is when you show up to that place, live like a local. You don't have to exactly live like a local, but the idea is if you want a more authentic glimpse into the food and the culture and the lifestyle of a place, you can do these things that are very local, whether it's going for a walk around the city, taking the public transportation, going into a supermarket. All these little things give you a better understanding and a better idea about the culture that you're visiting, about the people, their lifestyle, what they do. It's through these local activities that I get some of my best pictures because I get a really good glimpse into what daily life is actually like. I like to take this even one step further. I usually like to take a break and go to a coffee shop or have a really nice lunch somewhere. I try to make it a more local spot where there's a lot of other people around. And I use this as an opportunity to look and observe and really get a feel, again, for the people, the culture, the language that they're speaking, how they interact with each other. You can even write them down in a journal or make some notes while you're sitting there, because the better understanding you have of a culture, the better you can portray that in your photography. It's quality over quantity. It's so easy to get caught up in taking pictures of everything you see, but it can really burn you out by the end of the trip. And sometimes when you go back through those pictures, you just feel like they're very generic. They're the same kinds of pictures that everybody else took in that spot. And speaking of burnout, that brings me to my very next point. When you're traveling, it's a good idea to take small breaks away from your camera. Do something that doesn't involve photography while you're there. For example, I like to go running, and a lot of times when I go places, I take my running shoes along with me and I go for a run because I will see the city from a whole new perspective. Sometimes our best ideas will come to us in these moments. And of course, if there is an emergency, in the sense that you have the most amazing picture in front of you, you most likely have your smartphone in your back pocket, and you can even go back there later with your actual camera. And you'll appreciate when your camera is in front of you. I see this all the time with people in their smartphones. They're getting so absorbed in it. They're watching it and they have no idea what's happening around them. And it can happen really easily with photography as well. That you spend the whole time trying to capture every single moment that you miss out on what's actually happening. So it's good to have a break from your camera without feeling the pressure of having to look for that perfect shot and to capture it. Last but not least, one of the things you can do to really improve your photography while you're traveling is talk to people. Now, this can mean you want to take a picture of somebody and you go up and ask them if you can take a picture. Or this could mean that you're asking for a local recommendation, where to go and eat or where to take pictures or what kind of things you should do while you're there. Of course, this can be really intimidating if you don't share a common language. But the truth is that when it comes to communication, 80% of communication is just body language. It's mimic and gestures, pointing at things or saying stop. I mean, there's so many universal signs that we use on a regular basis to communicate a message. One pro tip that you can do if you're interested in taking pictures of people, but you're not really sure how to approach it, is bring along an instant camera. For example, I have this Instax Mini Evo, which I love because it is a hybrid camera and takes pictures digitally, but allows me the opportunity to print them out as instant photos right then and there. It's just this idea to be able to give something back to people and say, thank you for letting me photograph you. Also, if you're a want-to-be street photographer, but you struggle with it in your own country or city, I also find that traveling is a really good time to experiment with this. Some places, they are going to love you taking their pictures, or they're going to be very friendly and open about it. Other places, they might not be. But this is another thing I would double check and do your research before you go to a place, because you don't want to end up in some kind of lawsuit because you were not obeying the rules when it came to photography. But on the other hand, this could be a really good opportunity for you to try something new and get out of your comfort zone and just see what happens. So out of curiosity, what do you think about these tips? If you guys have any comments or questions, please go ahead and pop them below. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. And I will see you guys in the next video.